My grandfather brought it back with him from his travels in South America many years ago. I've always been captivated by it. As a child, I'd spend hours just staring at it. When my grandparents moved out of their large house and began clearing it out, my grandfather specifically told us not to remove it, and he was quite serious about it. I've always felt that it holds some kind of personal significance to him, though I can't quite understand why. There's got to be something behind it. I used to think about removing one of the bricks next to it just to see what's hidden behind it. But now, with time and reflection, I feel that if he asked me not to move it, I should respect that. There's something almost sacred about his request, and I wonder what part of his past it's tied to. Anyone know what this is? It's the Sunstone, also known as the Aztec Calendar Stone, is a sculpture dedicated to the sun with hieroglyphs of days, months, and suns. It was sculpted during the reign of Axayactl, the sixth ruler in the year 1479. An olive basalt monolith, it weighs 24.5 tons and is 3.57 meters in diameter. The sculpted motifs that cover the surface of the stone refer to central components of the Mexica, another way to refer to the Aztecs, perhaps the correct way, cosmogony. I came across a post not long ago about a group of these being smuggled across the border, and it turns out they were made from meth. I'm not sure if he's the type to believe in conspiracy theories, but there are so many around the Aztec calendar and its possible meanings. Maybe that's why he doesn't want it moved. Or perhaps it was a gift from someone he deeply cared about, and it holds sentimental value? I'm currently in the UK, and today while clearing out my great-grandfather's loft, I came across something unexpected. It's quite heavy, and judging by the dust and wear, it seems to have been tucked away for a very long time. With my grandfather having passed away, I'm at a loss as to who to ask about it. I can't help but wonder what it might be or why it was kept all these years. Any idea what it could be? That is a German World War II machine gun called the MG-42. Someone linked an auction to a more complete one that was estimated to sell for $40,000 to $60,000. This is an exceptional original German World War II fully functional German MG-42 light machine gun. These were probably the most feared German World War II German weapon on the battlefield. They were mass-produced, highly effective, had a high rate of fire, and were easily transported by the average German soldier, and they were the cornerstone of every German infantry company. These MGs were actually a wartime improvement over the early fully machined MG-34, in that they utilized new and innovative mass production techniques of stamped steel parts that were welded or riveted and combined with limited machined parts. Together, they allowed the German factories to manufacture well over 400,000 of these MGs during German World War II. They proved to be one of the best light machine guns manufactured during German World War II, so much that in 1943, 1944, the U.S. Army copied the design to evaluate it for our use, and later on also used many of the features during the development of the M60 machine gun in the early 1960s. This object once belonged to my great-grandfather, who lived in Mexico City. It resembles a watch, but with distinct features that set it apart. The face is adorned with concentric circles, each marked with numbers at intervals of 3 and highlighted in various colors. On the bottom left side, there's a gear-like disc that turns in one direction, causing a thin needle inside to rotate clockwise, a mechanism I've never seen in a traditional watch. The leather strap is sturdy and looks like it could be easily removed, and the back is unmarked with no engravings or identifying features. The object has the weight and feel of a regular wristwatch, but the word kilometer is etched in the center, which makes me think it might be a specialized tool rather than just a timepiece. My guess is that it's from the 20th century, though I'm not sure exactly when. Anyone know what this is? It's an odometer for walking. The wheel is for setting it to 0. The different scales are for different step lengths. These are encoded on the rim, from 45 centimeters of a child to 75 centimeters for a grown man. The scales are in kilometers. After 60,000 steps, the pointer is on top again. It worked through some kind of mechanical inertial magic in response to swinging motion. I found this strange blue disc in a packet of sour cream crisps. It has the words Ferris 25mm BST certificate number 213026B printed on it. I'm really hoping it won't make me sick. I've already decided not to eat the rest of the crisps. I checked the disc, and it's not magnetic, which I thought was odd. Upon closer inspection, I noticed something even more curious. There's a tiny window on the back of the disc with a small ball bearing inside. Anyone know what this is, and is it safe? It's a testing chip. It goes through the metal detectors to ensure they're working. There's a problem here, though. You send X number of testers, you get X number back. If you get X-1 or some other number, you stop the line until you find your chip. The entire purpose of the test is to make sure that stuff like this, which is supposed to simulate a foreign object, does not get through. My parents and I were busy working in the yard when we stumbled upon something unexpected. A massive concrete slab, about 5 feet by 5 feet in size, buried beneath the soil. Our house, built in 1988, has always been full of little surprises, but this one was different. As we carefully brushed off the dirt, we noticed strange markings on the surface. In bold, faded letters, it read, "Do not enter. Poison gas." The ominous warning sent a chill down our spines. We couldn't help but wonder what hidden history this place might hold and what secrets it was trying to keep buried. Any ideas? It turns out that it's the cap to a septic tank. If you were to go inside, it won't suddenly explode like a gas bomb. However, septic tanks can build up hydrogen sulfide, which is toxic, or simply have a lack of oxygen. A quick note about hydrogen sulfide: humans can detect it in very low concentrations, but the concentration at which it becomes dangerous is about the same point at which it loses its odor. So, if you smell H2S and the odor suddenly disappears, get out of there immediately. It's a sign that the gas has reached dangerous levels. I was watching the Mark Riebe episode of Serial Killer with Piers Morgan, and while they were showing him in court receiving his verdict, I couldn't help but notice a strange headset on his head. I was immediately curious. What is that thing on a serial killer's head while he's in court? What could its purpose be? At first, I thought it might be a translator's headset, in case he didn't speak the language in which the court proceedings were being conducted. Typically, a translator would sit in a booth at the back of the courtroom, listening to the trial and translating everything into a different language. However, as I watched the interview, I realized that he speaks fluent English, and this trial was happening in the US. So it seemed unlikely that the headset was for translation. Any ideas? He's partially deaf. It's basically a giant hearing aid, sound amplifier headphones. It's weird how enormous it is. Some courthouse has ones that look basically like wireless sport headphones that hang under the chin, where sport ones would go behind the neck.